Hello everyone, I'm Amari, and today when I got up, Dragon Age released another video. This one is kind of like an introduction to some of the high-level combat. There should be no spoilers in there at all. It's really just to go over like battles, combat, some kind of skills. We'll actually start seeing how the companions are used in the game, I think. So let's take a look at the video together. For your convenience, we've edited this 4-part series into a single standalone video. Combat Part 1, Prepare for Battle. This is an introduction to high-level combat. Footage has been edited for brevity and to avoid major spoilers. Weishaupt Fortress is under attack from the Gillenane and her archdemon. Rook and the Veilguard must stop her. Let's get your warrior ready for battle. Oh no, it's going so fast. Abilities and runes. Assign abilities and an ultimate attack before jumping into battle. Spectral Bulwark. There's just 4 abilities. That's a bummer. Equip runes to enhance your power set and access unique abilities when activated. Choose runes that boost a warrior's damage and help with crowd control. Diminish. Scorch. Wait, that rook is pretty. Each combat class has an array of specializations to choose from. This is on the skill tree. Utilizing passive abilities like Heavy Armor Mastery will help boost defense if you are equipped with all heavy armor. You're going to be battling Darkspawn, who are vulnerable to fire. Fiery Resolve will grant us flaming weapons for a duration when we parry an enemy attack. We'll be doing a deep dive on progression systems in the future. For this build, you'll want a full set of heavy armor to activate our Heavy Armor Mastery passive. Rook is primarily using a sword and shield since it allows you to be more defensive. If you prefer a more aggressive playstyle, two-handed weapons deal more damage but have fewer defensive options. The Spellbound Longsword deals high stagger and can trigger powerful takedowns. We'll cover stagger in part 2 of the series. Rook has a fire-based Darkspawn killer build. The ring grants a bonus to the maximum number of burning stacks, which results in more damage over time. This is just one type of build. Other examples include customizing to emphasize your shield toss or takedowns. Personalize yours to fit your preferred playstyle. I wish this was voiced. Select companions can aid Rook by equipping complementary gear and passives. This is a Grey Warden's mission, so you should bring Davrin into battle with you. Ooh. In addition to Davrin, you decide to take Lucanus into battle based on his crowd control abilities. I wish this was voiced so I can actually pay attention to what's going on the screen. Combat Part 2, the basics. Now that Rook, Davrin, and Lucanus have the right gear and skills, the team sets off to find their allies. Soon they are met with resistance by the Darkspawn blighted creatures following Gillenane's orders. I can't read that fast out loud, okay? Okay, let's see how good this battle looks. First, learn the enemy types to strategically exploit the weaknesses. Darkspawn are vulnerable to fire. You will also see that they are resistant to necrosis. Enemies have a multitude of damage vulnerabilities and resistances. Abilities which exploit weaknesses have a green outline. Oh, it tells it for you. It marks it. Rook encounters a swarm of Darkspawn ghouls who favor overwhelming melee. The ghouls are joined by Hurlock Spikers, ranged combatants who are also vulnerable to fire. Oh, it really highlights the abilities, like use this one. Time a shield block to parry an incoming attack, which provides an opportunity for a high damage counterattack. With the successful parry, Fiery Resolve passive spell activates flaming weapons. Melee attacks will now do fire damage instead of physical. Use the kick ability to deal massive damage and knock enemies off ledges. Shield Throw is an effective ranged attack that can destroy obstacles and quickly close the gap between you and an enemy. Health pots are available throughout the world. Grab them to prepare for what's ahead. Use the ability wheel to pause the action, cast abilities, and direct your companions. Some tougher enemies have additional protection that needs to be removed. A yellow bar indicates armor barrier. Armor is resistant to most attacks. Heavy attacks are the most effective against it. Here, the Darkspawn Horde begins to overwhelm. You can cast Spectral Bulwark, which damages enemies who land melee hits. That's pretty. This allows you to fearlessly get into the thick of battle. Enemies have a lavender stagger bar that builds when you land hits. While an enemy is staggered, they take bonus damage and you can deliver a powerful takedown. Ooh, takedown. Combat Part 3 buffs, debuffs, and crowd control. You've mastered your core abilities, now it's time to face down a variety of enemies all at once. This Rook is a warrior specializing in the champion branch, which favors a defensive style of fighting. Warriors are frontline fighters capable of devastating up-close attacks. Rook and their companions can also deploy different tools such as area of effect attacks to uniquely manage various enemies. Additionally, active companions buffs and debuffs to apply status effects. One example of a buff is Lucanus' Adrenaline Rush ability, which enhances Rook's damage stats. Davrin has Heroic Strike, which applies the Overwhelm debuff. This causes the target to take additional stagger. This build activates the Shield Volley passive, which ricochets your shield 3 times if you hit with a heavy attack. Rook is getting attacked on all sides, so you command Lucanus to use Abominate to knock enemies down. Use abilities like Davrin's Death from above to deal damage from afar. Or use your Grappling Spear to pull them close. I mean, these skills are great, it's just that we have 4. What are you gonna do as a spellcaster? Combat Part 4, Primers, Detonators, and Ultimates. As your fight progresses, use Primers, Detonators, and Ultimates with strategic timing to turn the tides of battle. Primers and Detonators can create incredibly damaging combo detonations with the help of their companions. Let's see. Assess the situation and determine which Primers and Detonators work best against each enemy type. Command Davrin to taunt to gather nearby enemies. And then Grappling Spear. Activate the Crystallized Rune to freeze the gathered group in place. Lucanus can use Eviscerate to detonate the combo and strike the whole group. As the battle progresses, Rook can unleash a destructive ultimate attack. Now that you've mastered these combat strategies and tactics, let's see them all in action. Like the things, they look great. Like, they look good. This battle actually looks good. It's a bummer that you have such few skills at your disposal. And there's only 2 other companions. But you know, the UI is pretty non-intrusive. It's, you know, great. I don't like the... Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, because the other two are the companions. I thought, oh, shoot, we have more. No, those are the companions. The animation looks great. The combat animation looks great. Like, as a warrior, it's very interesting to watch her Rook move, because she's making full use of her body and weapons, and it just is interesting to look at. So, like, I'm you know, there are positives and negatives to the changes. Overall, I mean, it does look enjoyable. It's high pace, it's fast paced, it's engaging, the spells look great. And it's nice that you can actually use each other, like you can use each other's skills, all of the companions, to work together and also line up a combo. That's great. There's nothing wrong with that, actually. It's actually quite fun, because then you get to play around with different combinations. Each companion, the way you work together will be different. Maybe that's why they moved it from a party of 4 to a party of 3, maybe, to make that, I don't know, the synergy of different combos a little bit easier. I don't know, I'm just guessing. I mean, it's great. I'm not going to read this up anymore, I already have, but at least I can properly take a look. I'm disappointed by the small amount of spells, and we kind of got a glimpse of that in the trailer before and the gameplay before. Seeing it now, it is a big letdown, because I'm thinking about, like, what are you going to do as a spellcaster with 4 abilities? Unless the runes make a big difference, unless the gear you wear makes a big difference, or the skill tree. It's not much to work with. This screen is very, very lobby menu kind of, you know, like you're about to go into a fight with others lobby menu. I don't know if that's just aesthetic, like I don't really like that, but that's fine. The skill tree, again, it's just a skill tree, but at least it looks like we have a lot of different options for how to use the skills. It's not like just that single tree anymore that just splits once or twice. This looks far more complicated, far more customizable, which, you know, if you're going into an action game, I guess that is a little bit more interesting. So we'll see. I wish they showed us a spellcaster. The warrior is great. You know it's going to be fun, because gameplay wise, you're going to be moving around the battlefield, you're going to be parrying, you're going to be blocking, you're going to be hitting, you're going to do all of those things. But as a spellcaster, what are you going to do? How often are you going to block or parry? I wish they showcased that today instead, because I think the major concern that people had with the 4 abilities was, what are you going to do as a spellcaster? So if they showed that instead, I think it would allay a few of our, you know, like our concerns and anxiety about the game. If they showed, like, okay, this is what you guys are worried about, let us show you how the spellcaster works. Because yeah, I don't know, I was planning on playing a spellcaster, the mage, so seeing it is a bit worrying. But at least, you know, at least you can see the names in the top now. You can scroll like through Belara, Davrin, Emmerich. Before, I had to kind of like remember, like, where is Cassandra? If I go up or down, where is she? I mean, they have the play cards still. I guess it's nice. It's just, you know, it's character screen. It's whatever. It's just aesthetic stuff that I'm not a big fan of, but it's fine. This looks so good though. Look at the buildings in the background. The dragon looks so good. So there are things that are very stunning to me. The Darkspawn look better than the Rage Demon. Like, they look like Darkspawn. There's a lot of spell effects going on, which I guess is normal. Like a lot of games, the spell effects just take up the majority of the screen. It's all like, it looks like a rave at the end of the day. It does make it a little bit easier that you can see when is the ideal moment to block and parry, which is, you know, for me, combat is fun. I want those indicators for a game like this. If you wanted a truly like action combat experience, it's difficult. This wouldn't be the game, because it does indicate quite a few things. It indicates what type of spells you should use, because it tells you, it like highlights it in green, a green ring or border. It shows you when to dodge, when to parry. So like these are, it's more accessible to people who are not a fan of combat, because people are going to go into this game for the story. I mean, from what I gather, a lot of people are in this for the story, the lore, the companions. So combat is not like outbalancing everything that it makes it, you know, readable for people. The spell looked great. That bulwark looked really nice. Yeah, it's really pretty. So it's well done. Now that I'm seeing it again, initially I thought the HP bar was a bit intrusive and how bright it was, but on it, it's not that bad. I'm happy that there's no minimap. That minimap was dumb in the last one. And even like, I guess verticality, the whole knocking enemies off of cliffs or them scaling up them, it's not new, but it is nice that it is becoming kind of like a normal thing, that there are vertical portions of the games now that you can toss enemies off of them, they can scale them, you can scale them. It's nice that this is gaming now, that you have that more realistic, immersive element to combat and using battlefields, using the environment. The environment is becoming more and more of a part of the game, not just a backdrop or a setting. The landscapes here are really beautiful. That's what I'm a big fan of the landscape here. Like the cityscapes, like they look really good. Sorry, I'm talking really weird because I bit my tongue yesterday really badly. It's swollen, it hurts. It still hurts. I mean, you have such few abilities and few companions that you really could just on the fly somewhat control the other companion. It's not really, you're just telling them what to do. I'm so bummed out by that. I'm so bummed out by just 2 other companions and such few abilities. It's hard for me to, you know, accept it. But we'll see. We'll see. Because I'm in it for the story and the companions. See, like, this is dark. This is nice and dark. I like this. This is dark and moody, and this is what I like. Yeah, even their debuffs, like it's saying taunt above their head, not intrusive. The most intrusive thing you can do is open up that companion command wheel, this ability wheel. That's the most intrusive thing you can do to your UI. The rest of it is like, it kind of fades away from my eyes. I mean, they don't have to write the word frozen. I'm pretty sure you can just put like a little snowflake and then people will be like, oh yeah, frozen. No, actually, because when the enemies stack around like that, they just look like health bars. They don't even look like enemies anymore. You know what I mean? Like you're just looking at a bunch of health bars. Maybe there's a way to like chill that out. Because when I fight something, I want to look at the enemy. I just want to look at the enemy, not their health bar. And you can't help it, your eye just goes straight to the health bar. So it looks like the pause menu, you can only look through your character's eyes, your character's POV. Well, third person POV. But you can't actually look around the battlefield. I wonder if you could, but it doesn't seem like they would have shown it, right? They would have shown that you could look around the battlefield. It seems like you cannot anymore. I think if you want to look around the battlefield, you gotta walk. You gotta walk over there and look. Regardless, I'm probably gonna enjoy it. And criticisms aside, and the things I love aside, like just all of it, all of this like judgment over a game that I haven't played yet. I'm just looking at gameplay. I love Dragon Age, but you know, there were things about each of the game I didn't like as I was playing it. I still had fun. It's probably going to be the same with this game. There are going to be things about it too that I don't like. It's a struggle in each game that there were things about them I didn't like and things about them that I liked, but I was there for the story and the companions, and I still had a great time. I don't even know what my companions are doing, to be honest. I think that's going to be a problem. The problem is when you can't see the battlefield but you're controlling 2 other companions, is that you're not going to be looking at what your companions are doing, so you don't know where to put them. Like you can't see who they're currently engaged with. I wish there was some kind of way to see the battlefield through your companion's eyes, or just see it in general, just so that you can, you know, take better control over what what you should be commanding your companions to do. That's the only big problem, I guess, with not being able to see the battlefield. But anyways, there will be more of these videos. I think Dragon Age plans on releasing one about the companions. I'm not sure what else, but the one I wanted to watch was the one about each of the companions, that we get to know them a little bit better. I'll keep my eye out for it. If it releases and I don't notice, please just give me a nudge, and I'll look over it. But yeah, until the next one, guys, take care.